right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Today, we're going to be talking about potatoes. Now, potatoes, I've had both successes and failures with over the last couple of years. I grow them in large containers out on my concrete back patio, and last year on one of the batches of potatoes, I had some sort of pest or disease or something just really come in and lay waste to the plant. But one of the great things about kind of my area and growing potatoes is we can kind of do them on both ends of the season. So we'll grow potatoes now in the front of the season, and then after the heat of the summer, in the fall time, we'll go ahead and start up another batch of potatoes at that time as well. Now, acquiring potatoes, I just buy them from the supermarket. I go to the organic section other than the other part of the produce section, the other potatoes. The organic potatoes are not sprayed with anything. They don't have any inhibitors that people talk about that keep potatoes from sprouting out their eyes. So basically we just take our potatoes home from the store, we kind of set them aside for a little bit and we let them chit out, and then we cut them up. We put them into little pieces and then set them into the containers. So I'll take you along with that process. Let's get started. When you get your potatoes and you store them away for a while, it's good to store them away for a little while. But one of the things you don't want to do is stick your potatoes up into a cupboard and then do this. Completely forget about them. Although I do see a nice experiment in the future. All right, I did, however, set aside another set of potatoes to chit, and I probably let them go just a little bit too long too, but they're ready to go. We're going to utilize these ones here. I'm going to take them out. We're going to take a look at them, and then what we will do is we will cut them in half or maybe another quarters and let them sit out overnight. Let them dry up a little bit before we put them into the soil tomorrow. Also, one more thing on chitting. What I'm going to show here is that chitting is not just for potatoes, but it's also for other seeds as well, such as sweet corn, beans, and in this case, peas. So first we're going to just take a liner or a saucer here, in this case, apply some paper towel, or as I've got here, napkins. We're going to pour a little bit of water on there, let it soak that up. And then we'll top it off with some more of the napkins. Soak it down with some more water. That'll soak that up pretty well. And after that, put it into a Ziploc bag that can fit into, or cover it with something. And then store it away in a warm place for a few days, and those should sprout out. Moving on to the next step, we're going to cut these potatoes. And we'll see, first, let's take a look and see what we got. This year I've got a purple potato, We've also got a red skin potato. And I believe these are Yukon Gold. So basically what we're gonna do is we look here, we got a red potato that has most of its sprouting has come out from the top here. It does have a couple of other eyes on the bottom. A potato like that, I'm just going to cut it off like so. And we'll let that sit. Now with the purple potato, we have several different eyes here to choose from. I'm gonna basically, we're gonna get this one into thirds. We're gonna take this one here. Look at that. How nice is that? And I'm gonna cut this one right there as well. This one here has got several eyes as well. Probably do something real similar here. We'll take this off in thirds. Want to avoid this one on the bottom. So we'll take that right there. And then take this one right down. Cross section like that. So we'll finish up and we'll take care of the rest in the box here. We'll quarter them up and piece them up, and then we'll let them sit out and dry overnight, and we'll get these into our large containers. It's the next day. The potatoes have dried. What we've done is allowed for the exposed part to dry up so that when they get into the soil, they don't just rot or cause any more damage. So we've allowed them just to kind of seal up. Now, one of the things too is that with the chitting on the potatoes, you don't really need too much of the flesh of the potato. You could actually just almost kind of cut this off right underneath and still get it to grow pretty well. But now these potatoes are ready for our large containers outside. We'll move outside here and we'll plant those out. Another great way to help your seeds along in the germination process is to let them soak out overnight, like we did with these peas here. Now what we'll do is we'll take these peas out into the garden space, we'll plant them out, and they should have a good head start. Alright, so I got a spot all cleared out for our peas. We're going to go ahead and get down there and plant those out. Later on, we'll take those ones that we chitted and we'll add them in another row. And then we'll check back later on in one of our garden tour vlogs and see how those peas are doing. Okay, it's been a couple of days, so I wanted to show you the progress on those peas that we chitted. Let's take a look at those. There, and as you can see, it seems most of them have started to sprout and germinate. Some of them are coming a long ways in just a couple of days there. So we'll take some of these and we'll go throw them into that space that we have in the back row there, and we'll check with these in a couple of weeks. We're going to get the soil ready for our large containers. Now we're going to be using these large containers here. And we're just going to mix up some soil and kind of get that stuff revitalized and ready to go. We'll put some fertilizer, organic fertilizers and whatnot in there and get it ready and set up for our new potatoes. And in there I keep a nice pile of compost and soil mixed with perlite and different organic fertilizers, and I keep that aside, always kind of composting down and ready to go for any sort of plants or vegetables that I would be putting into my containers. All right, let's mix that soil. All right, so we added the soil to the other compost mix that we had already. I'm gonna add a little bit more perlite to that to kind of loosen it up and give it a little bit more drainage. And right here in this bucket, I have basically a mix of organic fertilizer. And this is just a basic vegetable mix fertilizer, so we'll be adding this to the pile there, mixing it up real well with some more perlite, and then we'll start planting our potatoes out. got our large container here. We're going to go ahead and get down and put some soil in. We'll create a layer to start. It's only going to be a couple inches thick, and then we'll set the potatoes down in, and then we'll bury them up probably about halfway on this container. So we're going to take our potatoes, as I said, we're going to put them in, and I'm going to go ahead and do our purple potatoes. I'm going to set these in so that they're facing up. And then also, as well as doing the ones that we cut, we're going to plant in one whole one as well. This one's looking really wild. Cover them up. We're going to add a couple more inches of soil to that. Nice and spread out. We'll water it in just a little bit. And that'll be how we get those ones started. In a few weeks, the plants will make their way up. As they get to a certain point and get up over the edge, what we'll do is we will fill them in just another couple more inches with dirt, basically mounding them up. Alright, so it got a little dark on us there, but we did finish the job with those potatoes. All right, another project finished. Thanks for joining me on The Urban Gardener. I'll see you again on the next episode. Please take a moment to like and subscribe this video. We'll see you next time. Is it chit or chitted? I don't know, man, but I'll tell you what, it's probably not as bad as saying garlics.